Oh. So I just dropped off. Never fails. So I just dropped off Vicente with my mom. My mom's on my way. My mom is on her way to go with Helica all the way in Oceanside. I'm sure they're gonna go swimming. They have some other plans to go eat lunch, so they're gonna go have probably more fun than Vicente would have with me chilling until I go to work. Gotta weigh out the options, because what's more important to him is living. What's more important to me is giving him that opportunity to live. So one thing that I did find out is that my mom's in need of a new car seat. I talked about this before getting a new car seat for Vicente, because this one's too big for my car, but it wouldn't be too big for my mom's car. So I'm going to hand this one over to my mom and go ahead and grab a newer one, a booster seat that's a little bit more fit for my vehicle and for Vicente's comfort. So I need to go to Best Buy. Where am I gonna find at Best Buy? What the fuck? What am I thinking about Best Buy for? I need to go to Babies R Us, because I want to find a selection that's gonna give me a chance to decide, instead of going to a Target, Walmart, or wherever else, where I'm gonna just find what they have, and that is gonna be the options that I'm limited to. Fuck that. Let's go get something that's actually gonna be worth it. So first of all, we need something with 2 cup holders, absolutely mandatory. And we want to find something that's going to be comfortable and soft. So right now I'm looking at the Chico Kid Fit 2-in-1 belt positioning, but the problem is that with this one, you're using your own seat belt. I don't know how people feel about that for a kid that's just transitioning out of a regular car seat to be using the seatbelt instead of the 5-point harness. The other one that I'm looking at is right here. That's the Even Flow Maestro harness booster car seat, which is pretty much the same. Both of these actually have really good cushioning, except it has the 5-point harness like his. Converts to booster seat. Kind of like the Chico colors better, but you can see the cup holders. Got it, but it also has for the lap belt, 5-point harness and the lap belt. The thing about this is it has 2. But for me as a parent, the only thing I care about is not the extra 20 to 100 bucks difference where I could buy a cheap one for 30 bucks. The truth is that you got to put money aside when it comes to getting things for your kids, because they're the only thing that matters. And you want to be saying to yourself, oh fuck, if I would have spent the extra 40 bucks, I would have got that protection that goes on the side of the car seat so that he's snug inside. Never. I swear to everything I love, never. You don't ever want to say that. All right, so that's actually what I was looking for, something that was gonna give me the same safety features that a convertible car seat, a larger car seat, bulkier car seat would give me, but in a smaller version, because my car is definitely, when I had my Accord, going to my Jetta was definitely like going from an Accord to a Civic. I definitely lost a lot of space for him, so I had to have my front passenger seat pushed forward. And that was one of the things that factored into me just deciding to get a booster seat. My mom has a bigger car, she has a Chrysler, so I was able to just let her have my old car seat. The old car seat still within, shoot, I know that car seat still has another good 5 years in it if it needed to be, and she could also use it for my sister's baby and my brother's baby without having to get another car seat, because she could just flip it around and make it into an infant car seat, which is cool for her, and then also beneficial, more beneficial to her, because she actually has to think about those kind of things when she's babysitting. And with Vicente, she doesn't have to, so she could just leave it how it is in the perfect stance. And if she needs to, she could also use the other car seat that she has the one that I was talking shit about earlier, she could also use that one. So when I was factoring all of these things in, I relatively thought little about price, but thought about longevity, because in a family, you could always pass down, or if you want, you could always resell. So thinking about your lifespan of a car seat is important as a parent, because the thing that you have to think about is if your family is going to get bigger, you'll be able to use it again. And if you're thinking that your son is already 2 or 3, likelihood 3, going on into a booster seat till probably about 5 to 7 years old, let's just say, you're really going to be rocking that seat. That's a 4-year span, and a brand new booster seat, the newest edition of the seats that are out, range from about, let's be realistic, on the cheaper end $40, and to the higher ends to the $400. And there's no essential need for one of those $400 booster seats, in my opinion, unless you're just really balling like that and you just want to spend $400 on a booster car seat, because then you might as well just get a convertible car seat. Obviously your initial plans are to provide the ultimate safety, and I really feel like a convertible car seat is going to give you that from beginning to end. Whereas you would have to buy 3 separate car seats if you really wanted to be all maxi cozy about life. Not to say that they're not a bad brand, they're a fucking good brand, and I wanted to originally get an Infinite Maxi Cozy car seat, and that's when my mind was just close to the fact that I was gonna get just each car seat. Then I thought about it, thinking from my middle class, probably lower class bringing ups, that spending the $200 or $300 for a convertible car seat that's gonna last him his entire career in the car seat, instead of just buying $200, ending up being at probably $600 to $800 investment in each car seat, and then having to have the money expendable to me in the event that he grows out of his infant car seat and I don't, let's just say I blow my savings or whatever. Things could happen, right? And that was my mindset behind all of it. So now, being a little bit older, being a little bit more responsible, having the money expendable to me that I could just use it at any point that I wanted to, I felt like I told my mother, I told her exactly this: I have his savings. His savings meaning to me that I have the money that I want to just use towards whatever it is that he needs, whenever it is that he needs it. If his mom tells me that she needs this, or whatever it is that she absolutely, I can justify the fact that Vicente needs it, I'm gonna get it. I have the money for it. I've saved the money for it. That's what I do with my tax return. Instead of going and blowing it on stupid shit, I just actually put it aside into a savings account for him, and then I just use it whenever I need it in events like this, where I need something that's gonna give him more space, more leg room. You see how he puts his feet up. I mean, he loves to do that, which is cool, but that gives me the idea that he's just getting a little bit too big for that car seat in my car. So factoring all of that in, at a $20 difference between the Evenflo and Graco brands that offer nearly the same thing, the one noticeable difference that I noticed was not only the quality of the Chico compared to the Evenflo, but the Graco didn't offer, or at least at Babies R Us, they didn't have one on display that I could see the side impacts that we're talking about, the head and shoulder side impact protection, unless you went up to the $150 range, $140 to $160 range, and then they actually had those offerings. And I felt like if they were going to compete, I would be able to see it on the sales floor, where I could actually in real life feel the product, move the product, see the quality of the product. And I know that there are some kind of concerns for each car seat, because obviously it's not a flipping bubble that's going to protect your son or daughter from absolutely everything. But in the event that there was an accident from the side or an accident from the rear, there is protection that is offered that I felt like would make no reasonable sense for me to decline from paying that extra 20 bucks. It didn't make any sense. So I took out the factor of the extra money. You absolutely have to factor out the extra money. Do not think about that when you're buying a car seat, obviously, right? But the problem is that sometimes you don't have the money. Sometimes you are in a situation where you don't have that extra 20 bucks. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's when you look for the discounts, because Babies R Us offered me a 20% discount. I still felt like at the end of the day, what it was that I was looking for was the best that I could get for the size that I wanted to invest in. Meaning that I needed a smaller, more compact car seat that gave me all of the qualities of a bigger convertible car seat and would make me feel confident that if I boosted turbo, so into turbo, but if I actually sat my son or daughter or even somebody else's kid in that car seat, I would feel like they had the ultimate protection that would be offered from a car seat. Okay, so as a parent, I just wanted to make this video and share my experience buying a car seat, because some people don't know, and some people, and I was at Babies R Us while this was actually happening, some people don't have children. They just know what they have researched about the car seats, and they just know through the knowledge that they have gathered over the years of working there, which is also good, because they will be able to tell you the product brands and the comparisons and the value of those product brands and how good and quality that they're made is all important factors. But from one parent to another, the most important thing that they don't realize, or that they might not know, or they might know but not be factoring in, is sometimes you don't have the money. Sometimes you're there to shop because you have to make a determining factor. What is the difference, and how much of a difference is it? And is it something that you know that you're putting your baby in the car seat? Am I gonna be making a horrible decision by not spending that extra 20 bucks? And at the end of the day, you shouldn't be thinking about any of the money costs. You can't, you absolutely can't. Because at the end of the day, worst case scenario, are you really gonna be sitting there thinking to yourself, like, you know what, it wasn't the extra 20 bucks that was the reason for this happening? In the worst case scenario, I'm sure. That's a horrible way to think, huh? But as a parent, you do think about those kind of things. It's an honest truth. You think about that kind of shit. You protect your kid from everything and anything. And at the end of the day, if something happens, the first person that you blame is not your child, it's yourself. So at the end of the day, you have to factor all of that stuff in and be a good parent and just say, fuck it. If that means that I'm gonna have to spend the extra 20 bucks, let me see what I can do to try to get that extra 20 bucks. If that means that, to be honest, if it was me, if that means that I have to sell my PlayStation controller so that my son has a better car seat, I'm gonna do it. If that means like something stupid and little like that you would think like, oh, you wouldn't think to do that, you better fucking do it, because it's worth it. And that's how I feel about it, and that's how everybody should feel about it. As a parent, you should just be like, fuck it. Nothing that I have is that important that I wouldn't sell it so that I could get my son or daughter whatever it is that they need. And that's how you should feel. That's how you should be. That's how I felt today. And I said, fuck it, that's what I have that savings for. That's what I save it for, so that I can do things with him, so that I can take care of him, so that I can make sure that he is well nurtured and cared for on all levels. So today's review and today's overall vlog, and it's just my opinion. Again, it's just absolutely my opinion. You don't have to take it anywhere, you don't have to do anything with it, but it's just my experiences of what I've already seen, my experiences that I've gathered through other parents and my brother, my sister, my mom. And I know that, yeah, my mom and my brother probably think that I overspend on things that I don't need, but at the end of the day, the quality of what I get for what I spend is worth it to me, because my son's sitting in it, and that's all that fucking matters. So much love and respect. Thank you very much for tuning into my review. Actually, this might just be a vlog. I'm gonna separate my review and maybe put some clips from this in it.